And we're back. We hope you've had a good lunch because we sure have a lot more lined up for you. Sitting with me here now is
Seema
from Epsilon. Surprise! Epsilon, one of our platinum sponsors, also on board, very keen on hiring women coming from a second career. Seema, would you like to tell our women what your role at Epsilon is all about, and why did Epsilon choose to be part of Free Startup?
Hello everyone, my name is Seema. I head the HR function at Epsilon. Epsilon in India is fairly new. We are about 2.5 years since entering the India market. In the US, we've been established since 1969. One of the first things we thought about when we were bringing the company together was about some of our goals. And interestingly enough, some of the leadership team felt that gender diverse workforce was high on their priority. So we came up with a goal of 50-50. And by 2020, we want to get to a workforce that has 50% women. So that's the main driver behind becoming a sponsor at this event.
Seema was just telling me all about her career journey, which has been nothing short of inspiring. You'll be amazed to know some of the facts which she will be happy to share with you.
Yeah, it was. I just happened to reflect about it because there was an event at the office, and I had to speak to a bunch of women. We have a program called EWIN, which is called the Epsilon Women's Empowerment Network. And so every month we host a woman leader to come and talk about her career journey. And so when I put my presentation together, I was just lining up the jobs that I had done, and then I realized an equal amount of career breaks were there in that as well. So it just struck me at that time that I had taken a career break when I moved country, I moved cities, and because it was hard to find a job in a new city, it was not easy. When I moved countries, it was much harder. I moved to the UK, and it was really, I had a long period where I couldn't find a job. Came back to India when I had my son. I had to take a career break. And then just before joining Epsilon also, I was on an 8-month career break. So, it's been, my career is interspersed with breaks as well. So,
multiple career breaks, and this is where Seema is. So, don't ever doubt that your career break is your strength. Seema, would you like to tell us what it is that companies like Epsilon, which are amazingly running a 50-50 diversity drive, contribute to the space of diversity, as in what are the steps they're taking to make that change?
I'll talk about a couple of things. Definitely the setting of the goal is the first aspect, which means setting expectations with everybody in the organization as to what our agenda will be, and getting in the buy-in from the leadership team. You heard Ashish, who talked about how he set the expectation with every business leader. So the first part is the goal. In addition to that, we've looked at what do we need to do to ensure that we reach that goal. The first bit is, of course, hiring and attracting talent, women. The second bit is once we attract and bring them in, we develop them, we provide them the support networks that help them develop, retaining them. And definitely in terms of policies and practices, what encourages women to stay in the workforce, because we know that people drop out. So we've looked at it as a multi-pronged approach, because you can't address one bit alone. So we know some of where our challenges lie, because development is easy to do, because we think we can put sustained training programs that will help and ensure women are building their skills and capability to take on bigger roles in the organization. Policies and practices, we've introduced a 2-day work from home policy. So, trying to build that flexibility. We're not watching, we want to tell people that we're not watching the clock. People come in at their time and leave. The hardest bit has been to find the talent that is, we can bring into the workforce, because we find in the applicant pool is our biggest challenge. For every, while at the entry level, it's an equal number of applicants, men and women. As we go higher up the level, there is one woman applicant for every 4 male applicants. You go higher, it's one woman applicant for every 10 male applicants. So it gets really challenging. So to address that bit, one of the first things we did was a referral program. So we asked our employees to refer women candidates, and if they were successful, in addition to the referral bonus, we agreed to sponsor the education of a girl child for 5 years. We are at this current time sponsoring the education of 37 girl children who are first-time schoolgoers. So it's a great success story, and we want to build on that and capitalize on that. The second bit is we are asking our leaders to mentor women because to help them overcome some of the inherent barriers that they face. So we started, initiatives, training initiatives, and Even was one of them, was born out of that. We've tied up with a partner to run a program called Lead Like a Girl. So there are some of these initiatives that are being run. As I said, we're really early in our journey, and it's, we 2.5 years, these are things that we've done. But we hope by over the next couple of years, we'll definitely see much more, momentum around this. And sponsoring this event, I think I've been speaking to the team here who've come from the talent acquisition side, and they're amazed at the quality of people that are coming here and who they've met. So we're really walking away positive, and we're hoping we can see that translate into people that we bring in back into the workforce.
Nothing makes us happier. Priyanka, do we have any questions that have come in? That's amazing. On a lighter note, is there something that you wish you'd known 20 years ago instead of today?
So I'll be very open, because when I started my career, I used to think that it was my brash self or overconfident bit. I used to think that women didn't need any support. We could just make it happen. We could really, I didn't need any help from anyone, and I could. But it's changed through the course of my career. And it's through meeting people, meeting women during interviews and how they put themselves across, meeting women in the organization who I see are very, very capable, but don't get out there and don't get the kudos because they're willing to think that if I do a great job, that's sufficient. People will take notice, or I don't need a network, it'll just happen. But I think that's the thing that I would like to go back and tell my younger self, that there are some things that you need support on, and reach out and try and build connections with other women who can help raise you up. So I think that's my biggest learning.
There's nothing more valuable than advice that comes from experience. So thank you for being with us here today, Seema. And we look forward to many great things to come from this.